weird, just a weird, I guess, vulnerable moment. Um, I'm just trying to figure out like what my platform is really for. But like my YouTube and my TikTok, you know what I'm saying? Mainly my YouTube because I still haven't found my crowd on YouTube. But I just kind of wanted to share. So I don't know if you can tell. Today is Thursday, November 9th, and I don't know if you can tell, but my eyes are very swollen. They're like very swollen, and that's because I've been crying for 3 days straight, which is okay. I think I don't know what season I'm in right now because I wanted love and I thought that's what I was getting. Of course, when people talk about stuff like this, they think it's somebody who they talk to, somebody who they used to talk to, or like somebody relationship wise, and that is a big part of it. Another part of it is people that I was just close to. But I just wanted to share, like, I went to Bible study yesterday, so November 8th on Wednesday, and, you know, I was just having a really bad day. I wasn't having a bad day. It was hard for me to get through the day. And I don't know, I've been struggling. I don't want to go too far into detail because everybody can't see this video, and I don't want anybody to think I'm talking negative about them or anything like that, because I would never want to lose somebody, you know, because I'm cool with everybody, even people of my past. Like, I'm cool with everybody, so I would never want to do something publicly that would make them feel less than. But I just kind of wanted to share my, I guess, my testimony. I don't know. I feel like this, I don't know. I was going to say this is my second testimony, but I just thought of another one, so I'm not going to keep track. Just know that I have many. But I just want to share what I learned at Bible study yesterday, because it just really touched me, and it came out of nowhere. I mean, I went in there, I was upset, you know, but the specific people that I saw this time, I feel like I don't really make eye contact or see them much, you know. So let me just share. I don't even know if I'm gonna post this because it's so vulnerable and so not like me, but I think with the 230 people that are subscribed to me, I think everyone will watch this video, and whenever you watch it, it'll be for you. Like, you know, like, kind of like when you cross paths with someone, that's when you're supposed to cross paths. When you see this video, something in here, maybe it'll touch you or something like that. But so what Bible study was about yesterday was about being a somebody, a nobody, and being for anybody. And so, yeah, some things I just want to tell y'all what I took away from it. You know, they mentioned, and so the first thing I wrote over here, you're probably not going to be able to see. I'm not trying to show y'all what I wrote, but just this little paragraph right here. I was just talking to God, and I was like, you know, like, why is it that when I'm in the midst of like the hard the hardest part of what I'm going through, when I'm right in the middle of it, why is it that I don't hear you? And why is it that I never hear you? Like, I feel like I always hear you whenever I'm not in the middle no more, but I'm on the better side. I'm almost there. I'm almost done dealing with it, almost back to me again. And so I was just saying, like, why don't I hear you? Like, why do I always hear you when it's after, after you help me get out of it, or after I drug myself out of it? Like, why is it always after and not during or in the middle of it? So that was the first thing I had wrote down, because they were talking, and I just, at that point, I wasn't taking anything from it just yet. Honestly, there was just a lot going through my mind, so I was just trying to, because sometimes you listen to a word and you're trying to pick out what has to do with you and what has to do with your situation, instead of just listening to the word for real. So at that point, I just couldn't focus, so I was just writing. And so after that, I said, I took away, like, they mentioned that people that you need to be accepted by, or people that you're trying to get into something, or things like that. They were just saying, like, people want the real you. And, if these are people that you need to be with, or are going to be with eventually, that they need the real you. They don't want the fake you, like, things like that. And now there are 7 pages of notes. I don't know if I'm going to go over all 7 pages, but some parts in it just hit me more than the others. So, he also said, like, people feel comfortable with holding you back because they're back and they're not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So they don't have a problem getting you out of character, or saying and doing things to hold you back to just hold you back, period. You have to get away from anybody so that you can be somebody. And I think that totally made sense to me. He said, God is changing your circle because he's trying to customize the road for you. And of course, like everything else, these same people some of these people have to stay behind. They cannot travel with you. They're not equipped to travel with you. So, he said, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light, which is in the Bible. And I wrote again, like, there are people that I've encountered that they just seem like everything I prayed for. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna go into detail on YouTube, but when I broke this list down and I said, God, I want them to be this, that, blah 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 blah, and it seemed like the person checked off all the lists, and sometimes I have confusion, like, well, are they going to be like exactly what I put on my list, or is there something that I'm going to have to deal with if I want to be with them? You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. But they just said growth is a process, and he talked about being fully yourself means you're losing sight of God, and that he will humble you always, every single time. He's gonna humble you. So, how you see what made me think of this is how influencers, because, and like I said, you listen to the word and see what it has to do with you and how it relates to you. So me, I was thinking, like, well, how influencers, they get this, I guess, power or level of recognition and just start saying whatever to people. Like, I guess the situation with Ari, when she said something to somebody and she got her Instagram taken away for years, I felt like that was a humbling moment. But he also said, when there was 2 of them, so when I'm saying he, it's one or the other. But he said you can only change, and you can only change, and that change starts within you. So you take that how you want to take it. And he also said being linked to a believer means that you get the worship and the praise as well, because if my friend is going through it, I'm going to pray for you regardless. And I took that as I have a really close friend, Cam, and we can talk spiritual all day. We can talk about anything all day, and we can talk about it as many times as we want until we get over it. And neither one of us is going to be tired of hearing about it, because that's just how we roll. Like, that's just how we rockin' for real. And I think, because both of us are linked to each other, like, we both get 2 times the worship and praise, because we worship and praise on our own. We do it with ourselves, to ourselves, for ourselves. So, another thing he said was let go of the heartache that you've been through, just so that you can progress and move forward. Something that I thought was about me, he said, God, you're holding on to something that God wants you to let go of, which you don't even know he has better for you. And I just feel like I don't know. I know what I'm holding on to, but it's like, well, why? How do I know I'm supposed to let it go right now? Like, how am I supposed to know I gotta let it go? So, and then they said you may go through some things more than someone else because your assignment calls for it to. Just like YouTube and trying to blow up. Like, I may go through so much more when it comes to this just because my assignment calls me to, so I don't mishandle it when I do get it. So then there was a piece in while he was preaching and doing studying the word and Bible study and things like that. I was sitting behind Miss Renee in the church, and so after I had wrote this, I wrote sometimes it. And then he asked the lady in front of me, he's like, excuse me. He was sitting in the front. He was like, excuse me. So she, slid her head over, and I looked up. And if I can screen record it and put it in here, I will. It was for me, but, man, it hit me so hard because, mind you, I said at the beginning of this, God, I don't hear you. Why do I never hear you when I'm going through it? When I'm in the midst of my pain? Like, why don't I hear you? So the guy looked at me, he said, and I like to write it down. I think, I don't remember word for word, but I think the things that I do remember, I remember it for a reason. And I think that's what sticks. And that's what sticks because it's valid. I'm not saying that nothing else is valid, but it sticks for a reason. You get what I'm saying? So he said, there are more people with you than against you. And that, I was just like, okay. Like, wow, because there's been so many people who've hurt me just recently, hurt my feelings, and, just hearing that was just like, okay. So it's not just me and my 2 people, or me and my 3 people, just trying to make me feel better. Or my few friends in my phone from back home. Like, it's not just us against everybody. Like, y'all, everybody's on my side. You get what I'm saying? Like, and that just made me feel so good. Like, just like everybody in this room is on your side. He was like, people in here praying for you, and you don't even know it. You get what I'm saying? He said, you don't even know. He mentioned that I'm going to have a story like Jacob, which I need to study that a little more because I want to know exactly what he meant, and I want to know, you get what I'm saying? I want to know what that means. And so then he said, like, keep coming, keep showing up. He said, more importantly, keep fighting because there's a fight in me, like, and that's true. He's right, because if not, I would have laid here Wednesday night and I wouldn't have went to Bible study. But I knew that I needed to go, the type of day that I was having. And I had a good day. I went to work that morning, and work was fine. Work was good. But I knew I still needed to go to Bible study because my emotions and my mental is not okay. So, and then he said, God, he said that he feels like God's trying to put this pillow around me because the places that I'm going, he's trying to make sure that I'm not, he kind of put it like bumping into things or or just like falling and falling in with the same people that I work so hard to get away from, or the same people that hurt me, so that I don't bump into them same people and let them drag me down as well. And at that, when he said all that, I was like, wow, God is really speaking through you to me, man, because I was just questioning him, like, why don't I see you? Why don't I hear you? Why don't I feel you? I'm laying here crying, been crying for 3 days straight, and I don't know a time that I felt you. So it's just like, and I know what it feels like. So it's frustrating, you know, when I don't feel that, because your word says that you're always there. So it's just frustrating, but I heard him and I felt him. And I've never had something be so answered so quick, you know? So, and after he asked to speak to me after, and he said that when he sees me, he sees this cage around me. And this probably hit me a little harder than the whole thing, just because it's spot on. And it's literally what I'm going through right now. Like, just decisions, just making decisions, and, you know, knowing, having your pros and cons list, and knowing what you want to do, but it's just moving forward with it. So what he said was, he said, I see this cage around you, and he brought up, you know, like family and how I was raised, and just about how, you know, I know what I want to do, and I know, he also brought up my internship and saying that that'll fall through, which I pray to God that it does. But he was saying how when I have this decision, and I make this decision, and I know that this decision I want to make, you know, when it's time to go, when it's time to make that step and say it and do it and put it into action, I go back into this cage for whatever reason that it is. Maybe out of fear of the result of the decision, or what if I made the wrong decision, because that's how I feel right now. I feel like, well, what if I get thought, or what if they make me think that I'm just doing too much, or I'm just being sensitive, I'm just being a baby, I'm just being dramatic, you know, like I'm not thinking about them, or you know what I'm saying, like, and people do make me feel that way, like they really tap into my head and make me feel like the reasons and the things that I feel are not valid, and I know that they are, but it's like when I give them too much time to talk, then I have to sit back and question what I said and be like, well, am I not putting your thoughts into consideration? Like, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, my feelings are hurt. You get what I'm saying? Everybody's hurting my feelings, and that's what I'm so tired of right now. Everybody's hurting my feelings. I'm not doing nothing to nobody. That's the most frustrating part of what I'm going through right now, is y'all are hurting me. Y'all are putting me down, and I'm picking myself back up. Nobody's apologized, and nobody's taking accountability. It's frustrating. So I don't know, I asked him, like, a little more in depth, like after I left Bible study, just like a little more in depth about these decisions and why it's so hard for me to go through with the decision, like, you know, like why. And I think what scares me is when I let go, I can't come back, you know what I'm saying? I don't go back and forth. There's always a chance that I'll be cool with people because I'm a cool person, but it's the line between being cool and like having what we had the same way. And I think sometimes that puts fear in me, because it's like I do want what we had, because what we had was good. Friends, family, relationships, what we had was good. And so I do want that back, but I know if I end it right now and I cut it off right now, we're not going to have that. So another big thing that they touched on was just don't go before your time, because your time is coming, and that's just with everything, with money, with jobs, with school, with work. But you know, just don't go before your time. Don't jump ahead in line. Like, don't jump ahead in line. You know, just like skipping, we don't be trying to skip people in line, things like that. Like, just don't go before your time. Um, and a lady at church not reference, she just said, like, you know, don't go before your time. Just like people were driving and they cut you off, and so like just like when they're driving and they cut you off, and y'all end up sitting in the same light, same spot. Don't go before your time. So I don't know. I hope whoever's watching, y'all took something away from that. I haven't been blogging. I wanted to, but I haven't. I don't. I'm just trying to get through what I'm going through. That's it. So if you guys pray, I just pray for my strength. I will pray for my viewers and pray that y'all stay strong. You know, I hope that you get something from this word. My Bible studies I always get something from Bible study. You know, in the times I need it most are the times that I'm always called out, which I don't mind. You know, it's just tough right now, and it's hard to keep going. But I know I will, because the devil will never win over here, and I'm saying that loud and clear. He will never win over here. I might have a bad day, and I might need 24 hours in my bed, but he will never win. I always get back up, and I'm always okay, and I will be okay this time as well. So yeah, I love you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. So maybe go to your Bible study next Wednesday, or maybe you can go to church and see if they call you out at church and just say something that you need to hear, or just get a word. If not, if you got a word from this, just let me know. You can DM me or leave a comment, whatever you're most comfortable with, just to let me know that you heard something and you received something. And maybe next Wednesday I will post what I received from Bible study as well, because I know that just because you didn't go and you didn't receive it, that doesn't mean you can't receive it from me. There's a YouTuber that I watch, and her dad always says a word, and sometimes those words hit. Sometimes they don't, but sometimes they do too. And if I would have never watched that video, I would have never got that word. So, love y'all so much. I will see you next Sunday or next Wednesday. Bye, Bookie.